Welcome to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host.
What's in the bag? What's in the bag?
What's in the
Hey, good
bag?
morning, everybody. Good morning, all my early birds, even my afternoon birds, or whoever gonna watch another time birds you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and evening. Welcome to another segment of What's in the Bag Early Morning Coffee with Marvina, where we give a voice to the voiceless and we let you say what is on your mind. I am so excited. Good morning, mommy. Who you user ladies? Thank you. Good morning to you too. We are so excited today. I know I am. I'm excited today. I want to get this game going. Our special guest. I had a pleasure of speaking with her, and let me tell you something. Just the little stuff we spoke about just blew my mind. I just can't wait till we get there. But anyway, this morning I got my cup of coffee. I think it's the morning blend by I don't know who's VP, whatever. I don't know. It's some old coffee blend morning stuff. It's good because I
Oh,
use
that's the coffee from
it.
Ollie's.
Yeah, that's that Ollie's one, but
That's
that
the one from Ollie's.
hazelnut,
Yeah.
you know when you put that hazelnut in that, and
Girl, you
about
put
and
hazelnut. Look, maybe
but three,
dance.
but 3 tablespoons of sugar.
Oh no. You make me stop like
Girl, I tried the sugar stuff and stuff. That just can't work. I don't know why. I'm just loving sugar. I just love to get up. Sugar get me going, and then when I come down, I'm like, but it helps me out throughout the day. Hey, BFF.
good morning, good
Good
morning,
morning,
good
BFF.
morning.
Welcome everybody. My co-host, my BFF.
Good
Bye.
morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy holidays to everybody.
Happy holidays.
Next week
Happy
is is
holidays.
is gobble gobble day, and I am excited. It's my favorite time of the year.
Not really.
This morning, I am drinking 8 o'clock original. It keeps winning out over everything else for me right now. Um, I have some sugar-free sweetener sugar substitute. No 3 teaspoons. Look at that! Look at that expression! Look at that expression! And I also have a tablespoon of sugar-free hazelnut. It's it's good. It's good for me. How about that? It's good for me. I have now acquired the taste of it, so
Not
sugar
bad.
really doesn't do it
It's
for
not
me.
bad.
Oh,
I just have to research. I just don't require the taste, but it's okay. It's for everybody. Some people like it. Some people use it. Some people don't. Some people like to use it. I use it in my mommy's oatmeal and stuff. She has to use it, so yeah, it helps out. It gives it that little sweet taste, but that's not my thing. But anyway, good morning, everyone who's coming on in. We are getting ready to have a great segment on a woman that I am already impressed with. I haven't even gotten to know her that long. The first time I've gotten to meet her. And when I was talking to her, she reminds me of her bag. She has a bag. Her bag is big also. And when she was speaking to me, she reminds me a lot of the contents of my bag. I was like, wow. And it was a pleasure to meet her. And I hope and pray that each and every one of y'all who's watching this gets something out of it. She has some gifts and talents that she's ready to present to you.
yeah,
And she's going to empty out her bag. And also, let me let y'all know this young lady is the cousin
that's
of this
right.
young lady right here.
That's right. And I am honored. I am blessed and I am pleased to
Amen.
have her on, and I know that
Yeah.
you guys will get something from this. Yes,
And
yes,
let me,
yes, yes.
further ado, let's just bring that thing on there. Let's get
Hi!
Good
Good
morning, good morning, good
morning.
Good
morning.
morning, everybody.
Oh,
It's early morning in
Yeah,
California.
I
It's
was
6
going to
o'clock.
say that. We want to thank you for joining
yeah.
at 6 a.m. your time.
Yep.
Her time early in the morning. You know that's commitment. That's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
that means she got something to give. My
Mhm.
pastor said there was four things that what you're doing. First of all, it has to be able to give back, give. Of course, it blesses people. It's blessed by God because through prayer and meditation. Also, she said that it's oh Jesus, let me get the other one. It's prayed by God. What did he say? What did he say? I'm so lost. Let me get it.
It's
I
okay. It's
said
gonna come to you.
the other day, it's gonna come to me, but I'm gonna give y'all the next two in a few. Let me let her go ahead. I'm gonna give it to you because she has blessed us, baby. I'm really, really excited about this one. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes.
What's in your cup?
Water.
Go ahead. What? Just give us an intro on why you think water is the best for you in the morning time. You just told me. Just give me a little intro.
Yes, yes. Water is the best thing in the morning because it just replenishes your organs. Because the way how sometimes we eat at night, and it really, really detox your liver, your kidneys, especially, and your heart and your lungs. So it took me a while to drink water on an empty stomach because I was like, but my mom, she kind of challenged me. She said, "Why don't you just go ahead and try it?" So I did. So I did, and I've been doing this now since. Okay, so my daughter's 18. I've been doing like for 18 years
Oh,
now.
that's
Look,
good. You
look,
are
Nurse Auntie Liz.
man.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sister Dooney. Good morning, Mitten.
Hey, everybody, let me make a quick public service announcement. Good morning, Nate. Glad that you joined us this morning.
Oh, man. Oh, my little
I
baby cousin.
Please make sure some of your names are coming up, but then there are some that is just saying Facebook user. If you could put your first name, that will allow us to be able to address you
Yes,
when we start going through the comments.
yes. I see if you already got it, but some of them still ain't get it yet. We'll get it.
Yeah,
What's your name? We want to acknowledge you. We want to know what you got to
what your name is.
hide. What your name is. Anyway, let me go ahead on and introduce. Well, I'm not going to introduce. I'm going to let her introduce herself because that's what what's in the bag is. We let
That's
you
right.
know what's in your bag. We ain't going to tell anything. We want you to let them know. Hey, Libby,
Yes.
girl, what's in your bag?
Look, a time to forgive.
Yes, yes,
That's in my
yes.
bag. Actually, I start writing this in a seventh grade. My teacher said that she wanted us to write a short story. So I was like, that sounds pretty good. So I was going through some issues at home. My dad and my mom, they were separating at that time. And I said I wanted to have something of my own.
Mm,
So to help me go through it. So I started writing. It wasn't a time to forgive then. It was called No Longer Daddy's Little Girl.
Mm.
I'm not afraid to say, but my dad had an alcoholic issue, very bad one. And I felt like I wasn't his daughter anymore because he got so indulged into his addiction to where we didn't hardly see him. Sometimes I didn't go like maybe 3 months of not hearing him. And I would have to call my grandmother. I remember one time I looked all around the neighborhood looking for him, crying because we heard some bad things that was going on with him. So writing became my therapy. So, and I used to express myself to my English teacher, and I should have brought the book. She said, I'm going to give you a book. And the book that she gave me was the first novel I have ever read. It was called If Beale Street Could Talk by James Baldwin. And James Baldwin became my favorite author. And right along, she gave me some other books like Langston Hughes, Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, of course. And she was just giving me all these books. And she didn't give it to the other students, but she gave it to me. So I start reading. That's how I start really getting to reading and start getting to self-consciousness of the Black community. It was my teacher, and she was a Latino woman that introduced me to it. So that's when I start writing No Longer Daddy's Little Girl. So I started writing it out of Mississippi, but I kept saying, why I'm writing about Mississippi? I said, my family ain't from no Mississippi, you know? I said, man, so it grew up with me. So back in 2007, right around the time Joyce was passing away, Mama had bought us, she bought all of us a computer. So I was like, oh, okay, good. This probably helped me, get over the loss of our aunt. So I started pulling out all these stories I was reading, and my husband, he was like, why don't you just go ahead on and write? He said, you're not doing nothing, Harley. You at home with the baby. So I was like, yeah, I said, yeah. So I started to rewrite No Longer Daddy's Little Girl. So as I was going through, not a process, but I was like, the title doesn't mean anything to me. I said, I got over the fact that, you know, my dad wasn't there. I already forgave him a long time ago. And he was still alive at that time, so he had stopped drinking. So we repair our relationship with our father. So I said, I want to change it to something else. So I changed it to A Time to Forgive, because my character, Summer, she also had an issue with her father. And I said, okay, it's going to take a time for this young lady to forgive, because she's going to go through some things, throughout her life. So I changed it, and then changed the setting. I changed the setting to Georgia. I said my family from Georgia, and I'm going to make up a town called Creekside County, Georgia. So, and I said it's going to be in between Barrow County, where my dad's people are from, and also Chandler and Jackson and all these other stuff. So I said I'm going to put Creekside County somewhere between those type of counties. So I started to develop the setting real good. I also, when I went back to college, I took a writing course, and my teacher was like, she said, I like your story, but she said, you're not finished with it. And I said, oh, I'm done. She was like, no, you're not. She said, you are not finished with your story. She said, there's more to it. And she said, I really want you to tap into it. So I didn't touch it for like a year, because I started having these writer's block. And I was like, I don't know what else to write about. So I was lying in bed, and all these scenes start coming to me. So I got up out of bed. It was on a weekend, thank God. And I just start writing. And I start recreating, and I start taking this out. I was editing this part and that part. So when I was finally finished with it, I was looking at some publishers to help me. Some people was telling me you should go independent. And I was like, I don't really know the business. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I went through some things with that until I did find somebody who was interested in me and gave me a chance, and that's Arthur J. Deck. He gave me an opportunity, and he said, I'm gonna help you. And he did. And I have to give a shout out to
Yes.
Arthur J. Deck on that, because he opened up like a platform of me to get on. I mean, I'm no longer part of his publishing company, but he started me out with the tools, and he stood by me through it all. I can't, I will not knock him down for that. Um, and I said I wanted to publish it because it also reminds me of my great aunt. My great aunt on my dad's side, my aunt Queenie.
Mhm.
She she grew up, of course, in Georgia, and she grew up during the Depression. So the story starts in 1935. And she used to tell us about the Depression, and she said our families made it. Even our mother and father's side on, they made it through the Depression. You know, none of them did not go poor. None of them. She said both sides of your family, they made it.
They made it, yeah.
And so I was like, wow. So she started telling us about the 1940s and how fun she had because she left Georgia in 1940 and she moved to San Francisco.
Mm.
So
Wow.
she said, but she told me this like maybe right before she passed, maybe back in 2019. She said I never told nobody, but she had a glimpse of the Harlem Renaissance. So her and her 8 best friends,
Wow.
they took the train because they wanted to see the Harlem Renaissance, and she said it was amazing
Wow.
Wow.
just to have
Wow.
that glimpse for 2 days, and then they had to hop back on the train because she said they had to go all the way. She said the president at the time was Franklin Roosevelt, but we actually know who was really running the country, and that was
Right.
Eleanor. So, Eleanor made sure black people was working. That's what she used to say.
Yeah.
And the train to Seattle, Washington, she said that was fun. She said she had a lot of fun.
Wow.
She was a welder for the warships.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, she said it was a lot of women working. So then she said, then after that, she took the train into San Francisco. So she said, while the Harlem Renaissance were ending theirs in 1945, California had their West Coast Renaissance from San Francisco all the way down to Los Angeles. And
Wow.
she partied from San Francisco all the way down to LA. I mean, my Aunt Queenie, she was something else. Auntie
I
was
Wow.
was
something
say,
else.
Lord have mercy.
They
Sounds
had a
like
Yeah.
ball
it.
back then. So, what made you start your blogging? Because you do. Let me. I want to. I know. I just have this question because I know you have your blog. You're doing blogging. Was your book made? Was the book or was started you with the blogging, or was the blogging started you with the book?
Actually, my death of my father started me blogging. Um,
Mm.
next month on the 11th, it'll be 10 years since he passed. And my friend, she she contacted me and she helped me through the process, grieving of my father. And she wasn't able to attend his memorial service, but the thing is that she kept in contact with me, and I didn't get upset about that because she had other things going on. But she took me out to lunch maybe February of 2013. She said, I'm gonna take you out to lunch because she said I just want to know how you feeling. And I said, okay. So we went out to lunch, and she said, I think you need to blog. I said, I don't want to blog. I said, I want to keep some things to myself. She said, no. She said, it's not the time to do that. She said, there's people that grew up in a home like you did, in an alcoholic home where there was domestic violence. She said, somebody need to hear it. And I was like, oh my God. So she kind of guided me, to do the blogging. So I said, I don't know what to call it and stuff. And so another friend of mine, she said, call it Fabulous, Focus, and Female. I said, who? I said, who focus? I said, I'm all over the. I said, girl, I'm all over the place. What you talking about? Fabulous, Focus, and Female. She said, girl, just do it. She said, talk about your past, talk about the present moments, and talk about the future, what you want to do as a woman. And she said, inspire women.
Right.
I was
Mm.
like, I said, okay. So I did. I started blogging October of 2013, and I wrote a blog on his birthday. On my dad's birthday, it's October the 1st.
Wow.
And it's called No Longer Daddy's Little Girl. I talked about how I got the phone call that he had a stroke after his surgery. And me, my sister, my niece, we were just going, my mind was just everywhere. I just felt like somebody just came in and I just felt suffocated. It was just totally different.
Right.
Because remember I told you, Marvina, I always had mommy on that, daddy on this side. When you have both your parents mostly all your life, it's like,
Yeah.
man, like, wow, he's gone. And I really realized that my dad was gone. Not the fact that when I got the phone call that he passed away, but my father he was in the military. It was doing the memorial service when they did the flag. And when they
Hmm.
handed me the flag, that's when I said, this man is gone. Like,
Wow.
he's gone. I said, Daddy's not here no
That's
more.
when the reality set in for you.
Yeah.
That's when it set in. And I was like, wow,
Nobody
know,
wants that. Nobody wants to deal with that type of reality. But when
no,
you back,
Well,
no,
the reality still hasn't set in for us, so
yeah,
yeah,
it's a process.
it
I'll
is
yeah,
tell
a
anybody
process
it's a
because
process.
I always say Atlanta is not the same no more without my Uncle Arthur.
Girl, it's
Well, Quincy, without my
yeah,
Aunt Joyce, Mom Virginia, and especially Uncle Harvey. Uncle Harvey
yeah.
was like him and Hope. I called him Medea and Uncle Joe. Them two,
so
them
yeah,
one.
a lot of people can kind of understand death. You
Yeah.
know that kind of takes you there, and it does anything that takes your mind and your emotions somewhere. It's good to write. I write, but I don't write. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I start writing, I find that a lot of the things that I write about and more stuff comes into head, and I'm like, wow, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Didn't know that the effects of it was
It's
I've been affected by this all this time. And then when you start putting it on paper, it's like, wow, I've been actually I stuffed this back here, but this been affecting me right now. Even through and I like that you blog. I like the feeling that you get it out because people like me, I harness it. I leave it right here and I just keep it up here, thinking that it's being safe here.
Mhm. And it was hard
mm,
for me to express myself. I had a
Right.
very difficult time expressing myself. I didn't know how. I was. Vaughn can tell you, I was sort of quiet growing up. I was very quiet, and because I didn't know how to express myself.
Me too.
And I went to, thank God I had my mom. She paid for me to go to Barbizon Modeling School for plus size. They was opening up a division for plus size models.
yes,
Wow.
ma'am.
And that's when I learned how to properly express
Wow.
myself. That's when I learned to be more assertive. So with that, I was able to say, okay, I had to accept the fact that my father may never stop drinking. And I said, I got to forgive this man. I
Wow.
said, I didn't even know his story. Nobody did not tell us
Mm,
his story.
Wow.
So my great aunt, she felt bad. She said, I should have told you guys his story. She said, I'm sorry. And I didn't blame her either. She said she just didn't know how to tell us his story. So when I wrote A Time to Forgive, believe it or not, I put my family in the book. I
you
put
did.
some crazy, you know,
What you know?
yeah,
That's
I did. I put
the funny times, the bad times. Yeah.
the,
you, you
the,
changed their
the
names though.
ridiculous prayers that Uncle Arthur used to say during family, dinner.
Oh my gosh.
I had to put that in there because we used to be
We
laughing.
would be rolling.
And then,
Marvina had the opportunity to be at a cookout one time when he prayed, he was
Yes. Yes. I've many times. That was
and
daddy.
then the fact that
Wow. I said
the
that.
fact that he used to like get up and used to sing at everybody's funeral. Mama had to get up and talk. Shirley had to pass out. Her and
yes.
Uncle Harvey. I mean,
Oh Lord.
and I laugh about that. And when I tell people that, they think it's funny. They said, now, Tyler Perry, did he write about your family? I said, that's not my family. That's how they act. So when
That's
I
true.
wrote about A Time to Forgive, here is my main character, Summer. She's looking at her family like she's at this dinner table, and she's like, these people are crazy. There's something wrong with them. And she's like, ugh. And then, and then she asked her mother a question because her mother had 16 children
Wow.
and Summer was a reader. And she looked into certain books that prepare you for the future. And she asked her mom, have you ever thought about birth control? And 1935, you up there
Birth control.
telling your mom about birth control, that's just a major disrespect. And she had a habit of cussing. I mean, she was just so independent. And that was my grandmother. My grandmother was an independent thinker. My dad's grandmother, actually, my great grandmother. And she came through a lot. She had a now I'm understanding her psychology. She had impulsive behavior.
Mm.
Like she will just you say something to her, she gonna come back at you, and she don't care if you sit there and cry. That was just her. And I
Wow.
understood it now because she grew up on her grandfather's plantation,
Right.
and it was just her and her mom, and she didn't feel like she was welcome because she was mixed. She was part white and part
Mm.
black.
Okay.
So she had, sometimes she wasn't accepted to her black cousins or her white cousins.
Mm.
So that
Okay.
was a lot. It was a lot of things that, yeah, it was a lot of things. It was like the movie Queen. That's how she was, when I watched Queen, I think about my granny. So, and I put some of that in there. It was a lot of, colorist. It runs in the family at times.
Well, I
Right.
Um,
always say God has a funny sense of humor. He has given you such a colorful family that you were able to.
Yeah, because it was so funny because Uncle Harvey asked me, he said, is your husband white? I was like, oh my God,
Cause
because Kayla's
skin
very
tone.
fair
Yeah.
skin. And they was all looking at Kayla like, they was like,
I
wow.
know generations they jump. Yeah, you
Right.
can. Yeah, generations jump.
But
Because
that
even
back then they didn't that
yeah,
was their that
yeah,
was their mind. So
we ain't. We good morning.
so let me
It's
ask so let me ask you this, Libby. So you also work with the school system, am I correct?
I do.
So
Yeah.
do you have any workshops and everything for some of the students there that are interested in writing?
I try to because I'm over the school after school program.
Mhm.
So what I do, I created a program for them to it's called oh my goodness. It's called when we sit around and talk, I forgot what I created. And we just sit around and I just ask them how they're doing. It's like a
Mhm.
mental health
Okay.
awareness.
hmm
And I am gonna start some journaling with them.
that.
Oh, good.
Um
Okay.
we
Yes.
did some for Thanksgiving. No,
Mhm.
I didn't go to work Thursday or Friday, but my substitute, they did some journaling
Okay.
about what they're thankful for. So we're gonna get into more journaling, to see how they doing, and they like it, and
Good.
they really enjoy it. Yeah. So I do like a circle time, not a circle time. It's called community. It's called community conversations. That's what it's
Oh, I
called.
like that.
Nice.
Okay.
and
Nice.
I and I sit around and I ask them how they doing. Um, you can tell me, how you feeling, but make sure it's respectable. And they love it. They love it.
Love
They
it.
really do.
And
Gives
give
them
a
an
voice.
outlet.
Give them a
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, giving them a
Yeah,
voice.
give them a voice.
yeah,
Because we all, we as children, we don't believe we have voices. To be honest,
Mhm.
right.
we stuff a lot of things. That's why the suicide comes up and
Yeah,
all this other stuff. And when you get someone who actually cares enough to express, let them express themselves, whether writing or whatever way, it makes a big difference. Because I remember I
Mhm.
used to have this teacher. Her name was Miss Doman. Um, she really took interest in me. I wasn't very well. I didn't do well in school, but for some reason, she gravitated to me because she used to tell me that I was smart, and I believed her, but I didn't understand.
mhm,
Does that make sense?
mhm,
She would take out time and talk to me. even though you feel like no one's there, no one understands, no one sees
Mm-hmm.
and I lived a life a lot of people didn't realize it. I didn't talk too much. I was very observant. I guess that's why I am now who I am. But I kind of healed myself from having what we call a lot of friends and hanging out and stuff. I didn't do all of that. But most of my friends will always be older people. The
Mhm.
Pennies, the Domas, the late people that were older than me that I felt that can implement something in me, and that's was most of my friends. I didn't have a lot of young friends, but all the people that ever implemented anything in me always encouraged me. And that's what made me kind of draw closer to the adults, even my teachers, so I can pass, so they can pass me too. So I want to be their friends. So I can get past.
Lord,
I had to be their friends. You know how that go. I was a parent. You gotta.
Lord, Lord. Well, now Kayla, she's 18. Kayla,
Mhm.
she's already graduated, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, what did she pick up the writing bug from you? I know. Look, now I
No,
see her
she's
dance
helping me.
moves. Now I see her
Actually, she's
dance
helping
moves.
me with my publishing company.
Love it.
So yeah, she said I'm in charge. So I'm like, okay, Elizabeth, whatever, Liz. Because she has some of her grandmother's entities, and I'll be like,
Yeah, but they so smart these days. You better
Yeah,
listen. 'Cause, man, my
yeah, I'll be
yeah.
like, girl.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
love it because I'm all about that entrepreneurship, and
yeah,
yeah,
especially when families can come together. So
yeah,
you and Akela could be on the cusp of creating your own literature publishing company
yes,
and turn it
yeah,
into like a dynasty because it's becoming an archaic pastime, if you will. You and
yeah,
we spoke about this the other day. I'm the type of person I like to hold books in my hand and go through
yeah,
that. I don't want some electronic device reading to me. I don't want to. I want to read it for myself. I want to feel the book in my hand. I don't want to have to scroll through and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm a little old school with that. Give me a glass of wine, get me in front of the fireplace,
yeah.
and
I
just let
am
me go
too,
for a walk
cause
with a good
I'm
book,
not
and I'm
old school
happy.
with that. I'd rather something talk to me and tell me and read it to me. And don't give me no wine because by that time I'm asleep. So I'm like totally different. I don't give me you know what I'm saying? Give me that electronic. Let it read to me. It's like I'm a visual person anyway. I mean, I don't have a problem.
Hmm.
I can deal with people talking, but I like to let somebody read to me and I can read out the words with them. Um, just it's a precaution thing for me because sometimes I feel like I misspells the word or even I don't know what the word mean. I would literally, those technology today they help out. So I like the
Yeah, that's
electronic.
true. This is true.
yeah,
Everybody got their style and their
Everybody got
method
their style.
for for
Exactly.
yeah,
for getting into it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So
mm-mm.
Libby, is there a way of us getting this book?
Sure. It's Edwards Publications .bigcartel.com.
All right, we're gonna get some books. I gotta get this book. Do you have are you or will you in the near future have electronic? Well, you can kind of download it and do that.
Yes, that's in the works. I'm working on
Yes,
that.
that's
I'm working
wonderful.
on
'Cause
that.
I want
Yeah.
that book. I want that book that's electronic and can talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Yes. And then when you say sometimes you set the voice to that man voice or that soothing voice and it's talking and even say some of the words and the words don't even it just sound so sexy, don't it?
Okay.
You so crazy. You so crazy.
I can't help it. Got a little humor. But yeah, I like yes, ma'am. I can't wait to, but I'm gonna go ahead on and get the book before that comes in. I actually want to read it. Also heard that there's a part 2 coming in. We're gonna talk about that too. Let's see. I hear we got some comments. Let's talk to our viewers. Okay,
Okay.
let's hear. And I see. Let's see. Seed Blossom Game. What did she say?
She said,
Journaling is an amazing way of releasing your inner thoughts and moving forward. Your story is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, Cindy. I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. See, yes, inspiring very much. Okay, here go another one. What's one they say?
I know who wrote
Yes,
I
this one.
wrote.
who that lady?
Mommy. I wrote a book of poetry, short stories in poetry format. I will wake up in the middle of the night by the Lord who puts stones in my head. I think stories in my head. I have another book in my computer that needs to be published. I love writing. Carolyn Grayson, Messages from Heaven. Yes, Mommy. Yes, I
Yes,
read some of your
I have.
poetry.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes, she does. Beautiful. And I'm
Amazing.
gonna have that put out on our What's in the Bag directory. So anybody want to buy that one also, that will be posted on the directory page. It's What's in the Bag directory. Just look at no, it's just What's in the Bag, and it's a question mark, and that's the directory. Let's see what this one says. I got another long one. Let's see if we can get all of it. And nope, that ain't it. Sorry, we read that. Go ahead.
Congratulations on your book. The best books are nonfiction. I love books where the author shares their experience, strength, and hope. It keeps my interest when I can identify with the author. Also, I used
Also.
to read most of all the authors you mentioned: James Baldwin, J. California Cooper. She really helped me. I love writing. Noonie.
Who that
Uh
Noonie?
huh.
Hey
Oh,
Noonie!
great.
Yes, ma'am. I think books are the journey that a lot of people we're gonna miss out on. You know, because we went to the library and there
Oh
was
my God.
hardly
Yeah.
and we're gonna miss out. You know,
Yeah.
I really believe our children are going to miss. I don't. Let me say this: they ain't gonna miss carrying them. Cause let me tell you, carrying books in school was a mess. Them books, them
Yeah.
old history books, be this big, and we was trying to carry them, but we did it though. We did
Yeah,
it.
we
Y'all
did
did
it.
it. We
Yeah.
did.
We did it.
Oh,
We
yeah. I
did it.
remember them days,
Yeah,
honey. Yeah.
but I believe that we're gonna miss out on a lot of books. You
Yeah.
know, they make
Yeah.
it really hard for us to,
Because
train up our kids.
I grew up being an avid reader. I think I started reading at like two or three
Yeah,
newspapers, and I graduated to books. And I read all types of books, from
You
fiction, nonfiction,
got to our
biography.
grandfather.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what Mama said. Mama
Hmm.
said our
Yeah.
grandfather was an avid reader, despite
Dad
what
said
he
the
came
same thing.
through.
Yeah.
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 He was an avid
And
reader.
it's just I don't know. It's being reading to me is it can be an escape mechanism because
Hmm.
I could read and literally I could hear the what do you call it, the the tones of the other characters' voices.
right.
If they have an accent, I can through their eyes I could see different places in the world that make me want to go to those places to this very day.
Yeah,
So I really do think I really do think it's something that the kids should be more, get a
Yeah.
little bit more interested
yeah,
That's
in.
why when I write, I zone out.
right.
I do. I zone out to another place, and then another time I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
think I would like. I don't know about writing my whole story, but I have a long story. The books I read now, Yvonne can tell you now. I read
Whew.
some books. I went from not. I
You
went from
really?
not. I told Yvonne one day my first me and her became BFF. We started in the beginning. I sat down. She helped me get my first house.
Yeah.
And we were sitting on the floor, and it didn't have no carpets or anything. I'll never forget it. Stonewall Tell, right in College Park. And I said to her, I couldn't read. I told her I didn't really know how to read well. I told her, about my story. The first time I even read a whole novel, and I'm not gonna lie, naked and not ashamed. I was sitting in jail for some stupid stuff, and this girl gave me a book, and it said, "Help me, I'm insecure." I'll never forget it. I literally read that whole book. It was a little novel book, and I read it. She
Mhm.
gave me some Jolly Ranchers too. I love me some Jolly Ranchers. Let me tell you, the people at my church would put some Jolly Ranchers in there. I'd be taking all the Jolly. They'd be mad at me. She gave me some Jolly Ranchers, and she gave me that book, and I read that book. By the time I finished that book, my mom and them was coming to get me out of jail. There was about 3 days, I think it was about. But I got that book read. Even though I skipped over words and didn't understand a lot of them, I sat there and signed it out. I was in jail. sitting in jail. I even got a group of girls, and we had our little prayer group and everything. That's what I was in there doing, girl. I was scared to death. Scared to death. My mom and them left me in there. They're like, "You gonna stay in there?" But you know, I read that book, and I realized that, and then I went back to me and Yvonne. I told her, I said, Yvonne, I always hid the fact that I wasn't a great reader. I never really learned how to. I skimmed through school. So now, when I read books that has to go up in here. Maybe scientific,
Yes.
worshiping. Uh, it has to be
Theological.
logical.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. It has to make sense. You don't give me no novel about something just anything.
She don't
I
want no
have
Harlequin. She don't want no Harlequin books and things of that nature.
understand. It's just like yes, I've learned to read.
Because I even tried to get her to read one of my most favorite books, and that is The Coldest Winter Ever.
Oh, yes,
And
I got that one.
what?
See,
But
and
she
what
said
is
it.
it?
She said, "Vaughn, it's just not me.
Not me.
It's just not me."
Uh,
But
uh,
she will. And I told
50
her when she
Shades of
shared that.
Grey and all this, them novel books. I watch people, do that, have the book stuff, and they go back and forth and read these books and stuff. But it don't touch my heart to read a lot of stuff that doesn't mess with my mind.
When she told me that she said I'm not reading. I just smiled and I let her talk and I said, "Girl, you haven't even tapped in yet." I said, "God is telling me so much about you," and I
Yeah,
said, "And when you do, and let me tell you, I thought that I'm a studier and that I can break some stuff down and dissect it and analyze it. No, she put me to shame. I told her, I said, you need to teach a course on how to study because you know how it is,
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
mean, she has like several notepads and girl, she get the pencils and she starts breaking it down and she has this, and this. She has different. And I was amazed. I said, now tell me again what you said. I said, God has a funny sense of humor. What
He does.
what interests me may not interest you,
right,
Right.
but once you tap into what does,
right.
and look at her now. And I mean
I'm
every
grateful.
time and I
I am
mean just
grateful, y'all.
big old
It,
books that
it makes me
yeah.
choke up inside because
Yeah.
that if I could go back to that little kid, that one that she was talking about, I wish I could go back and tell her that what, baby, all you got to do is apply yourself. They don't
That's
understand
it.
that you don't learn the same way they learn.
That's
People
right.
Hmm.
don't,
There you go.
even like when people talking, everybody don't receive the message the same way. So
Right.
you can't just give me a book and tell me because everybody else can do it that I can do it because I'm
Hmm.
made different. I'm built different. I'm a visual. I love to see things. I can look at and give me an instruction and give me some pictures. You tell me which one you think I work better with. The pictures.
Yeah.
And I can look
Hmm.
at a picture and build a mountain full of,
Girl.
Right.
I can read a thing because that's what I'm visual.
Yeah.
And I wish I could go back. And and what you're doing with the children, I commend you
Yeah.
because
Thank you.
we need people out here. We need us
That's
adults
right.
who have values. A lot of the stuff that's being taken away people don't realize that's what gave our values. The reading, the going outside and playing,
Yeah.
getting to know each other, being around
Prayer in
your
school before
family,
you
prayer,
all
all
those
these things
things.
was
Yeah.
Yeah.
valued and it's missing. So now we got to because people are literally now, literally, our children are longing for this stuff. They're
Right.
missing it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
They're
that's
missing.
one thing about my character about Summer. She read. She was a
Mhm.
reader.
Mhm.
And I think that's why she started to develop her own independent thinking because she looked at her mother not as an enemy, but she was like,
Wonderful.
Mama, like, you're a woman. Why you allowing, daddy to treat you like this? Women, we we're gonna have rights. She told her mother that. She said, "We're going to have rights within the next 50 years." And her
Yes.
mother didn't know it.
Yes.
Her father got upset about it, about her telling her. He said, "I'm tired of you reading those kind of books, you know."
Mm.
And
Uh,
even now, there's some funny sexual parts in there because her brother was a little pervert. And it's kind of funny because, I mean, when you read it, you're going to laugh.
yeah.
So, her mother, so she went to the library, and I created this town like blacks on one side, whites on the other,
Mhm.
and she was related to the white people. And she didn't care. She used to walk into the library because that was under Jim Crow. Black people wasn't able to go to the library. She
That's
didn't care.
right.
She'll just walk in and be like, "Oh, whatever, catch me if you can," and she'll grab a book and run out.
This book.
So she read this book called Sexual Behaviors. And she was like, "Mama, this is what, such and such is doing." And her mother said, "Oh, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Psychologists, they think they're God in their own eyes." And she was like, "Come on, I'm telling you, this is what he is doing." So she was ahead of her time.
Right.
Very much
Love
ahead of her
it.
time. My
Right.
Aunt Queen, that's why I put that in there. My Aunt Queen, she was ahead of her time.
Wow.
Women didn't wear pants all the time back then. My aunt, she wore pants. She believed that women should be on, they should have the choice to use birth
She,
control or
she
not.
marched to the beat of her own drum.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was very much her
Yes.
own person. You know.
Love it.
So when I wrote about that part, I was thinking about, my aunt again because she used to tell us, you guys are in a great time. And I didn't think about it, back in the, mid 80s when I was coming up as a teenager and also in the 90s. And I was like, what is she talking about? We're in a great time. But as I start reading and as I start maturing, I said, okay, I know what she's saying.
What she was
Love
saying.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
I had to put
Wow.
this one up here. I always loved reading when I was a kid. I used to take a flashlight to under the bed and cover to read the comic books. My parents didn't like let's read. I like this one because my BFF used to tell me he used to take books up under the bed and put them on the
I can do
put
On
that.
the heat, I would put it on the
Yeah,
I would put it on the bed, crawl
yeah,
under the bed,
yeah.
and I would read. And
yeah,
literally,
let me see what's that.
they came to town one time, and they were looking for me, and I was under the bed reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody said their mama was all mommy wrote about the comic book. Who is this? Please tell me who you are. Tell me your name. Send that over, please, because I need to know what comic books and what mom are you talking about. Okay, I wrote a lot when I was in pain. As a result, I have crates of journals dating back to the 1990s. Wow. When I read some of the journals, I can't believe all that I've overcome. Today, I love book studies and book clubs. I read The Coldest Winter
She did
Ever.
the coach.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me read this. We're finished reading this. Let me see. Let me hide it. Coldest Winter Ever. I like self-help books. Can you see it? I love the book shake. What's the book
I
shake?
love the book. I love the book
Chat.
Shack. I
Chat. I'm
have,
sorry.
yeah.
I have
Mm.
various of books I haven't read. Thank you. I needed to get back into reading. Hey, Noonie.
You're so silly.
Hey, Noonie. And
Yeah.
then my cousin, she said,
And I love
when
this one.
writing
Yeah.
takes you away from the world you're living, everyone needs a great escape to a different world. Oh
Moral
my
or lifestyle. Reading is good for
Yes.
me.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
God,
yes. Thank you for
you
that,
know
Cindy. Because I agree with that 500%.
We need it. I can't wait to read this book. I'm gonna get this book. I'm gonna tell y'all about it. No, I ain't gonna tell y'all about it. I need y'all to get it. We're gonna put it on our also what's in the bag directory. We're
Hmm.
actually showing it here. But if you want to get this book, I would go back on. You can look at this and find out, or you can go to what's in the bag and directory, and you will literally see her information. This is coming up soon, so
Yeah.
you can get
And
her.
just to let you guys know, it's only 12 books left. The reason why is because I'm no longer with my publisher, because I'm have my own at this particular time. However, keep that book, and part one is going to be a reversion of part one under Edwards Publications, right along with part two. Just to let everybody know that.
Yes, ma'am. We gonna get that book. We gotta read that book. I want
Put
that first one.
put
Then I
that
can.
information back up. Someone
Yes,
is asking
ma'am.
how do they get the book.
Let me make sure I do that for you right there.
So
Shisha.
And
anybody
also,
that
they
wants
can,
this
if they
book,
have any trouble, they can also. I forgot to give you my email.
Um.
Um,
Okay. Give it.
they can get.
Type it down there so I can get it. Also,
Okay.
if you need to get in touch with her, you can go to her Facebook page. Facebook is
hmm
Libby Edwards dash that slash Warner. I should have made that a big W, but y'all get it. I'm sorry. And then we also got Twitter. Y'all, anybody? You know what? I gotta find out about Twitter. You know, I think I'm slipping here because I don't mess with Twitter too much. So let me, y'all. Anybody who likes Twitter, here's a way to get in contact with her through Twitter.
Libby
Um,
Warner
and I'm
underscore one
trying
hundred.
to, and I'm also trying to get out of my comfort zone here. I am available for speaking engagements, also
Love it.
um, interviews, whatever. So I'm here, and I'm
yep.
also working on my book signing. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, I'm working on that. Having a nice book signing uh party, I guess.
Instagram. Y'all,
Love
all
it.
you
Love it.
Instagram folks. Y'all know y'all can't get away just because y'all talking about I don't get on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, well, y'all get on Instagram. There you go. This Instagram, share it to other people. And also, we're gonna give you her web. This is her website. That's LibbyWarner94 at
Her
Gmail.
email.
Email. I'm sorry. Email LibbyWarner94 at gmail.com. My best friend said
hmm
email. No,
Girl, you better get it
right.
Hey,
That was
hey,
her.
Libby. When you get ready to do your book signing, I would suggest if I can make a suggestion, I would
right.
take and also
Yeah.
look into doing a virtual book signing.
Yes, that's what
That would,
I'm looking
yeah,
to do that too. Yes.
I can't
yeah,
wait because I'm gonna come in. Let me know when the book signing.
yeah,
So what's in the bag
Okay.
right there.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
we gonna
yes,
be there. Y'all watch. I'm
yeah.
excited about this one. I'm right there. Hey, yeah, this is what's in the bag. We get the voices. We had Libby, a Libby, a book signing. Come on out. You know how that
That's
goes.
right. Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
I do want to talk about a few things of the book. There's certain dynamics in the book that some people be like,
hmm
but there's a relationship that she has with her sister, um, named Flossie May. Back then, they didn't know if somebody was slow or they had some type of mental disability, but she does. So they became like really, really friends. And then there's another dynamic where she falls in love with an older man.
Okay.
And she is
Yeah.
15. Yeah, and I mean it's toxic,
It's okay.
Okay.
but
Our
but it's
lives is toxic.
oh mm. So
I
it's
probably
a
get
lot in there, and I talk about the juke joint that she goes
Juke joint.
to. Yeah,
Yes.
and
I don't know.
Georgia, just to give y'all some black history, Georgia and South Carolina was the first states that actually introduced the juke joint.
Juke joint. Yes, ma'am. You
Yes,
know about that
and
history.
Now they call it
yeah, and
drugs.
our great aunt Aunt Ruby used to sing in the juke
In the
joints
juke
before
joint.
she became
Yes.
saved and sanctified. So
And now it's called the
Yes.
club. Y'all ain't gotta go to no juke joint. Y'all can go to the club.
Go
Y'all know
out in
how
the
y'all
fields
do.
and
You
look. Go
know
out in
what
the
I'm
fields
saying?
down the hill and behind the barn to the juke joint.
I love it. I love it. I got somebody else. What we saying? Somebody saying something here. Let's see. I don't never want to leave anybody out. Oh, when my grandson Zimi was about 3 or 4 years old, he was in the hospital. I took him in the ladies' room with me. On the wall, they had his sanitary napkin, carefree. Jamie looked at the sign on the wall and asked me, Grandma, did it cost 25 cents to eat? Mommy,
Oh my
Mommy, you a mess. You never fail.
my mama.
2 weeks in a row, you done took us to a whole nother level.
And she got a lot more.
Oh Lord, oh Jesus.
Okay, you are an inspiration. You see what Mooney said? Thank you for
Yeah,
inspiring us to catch up on our reading and writing. Mooney, writing is such a great method
God.
of doing
Oh,
history.
thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yes,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
well,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have one last question for you,
Sure.
Libby. With
Mhm.
all the history and the knowledge that you've acquired um, through your research on our family, are you intending to put together a book of history as it relates to the Meadows Griggs? Is that something that we can look forward to in the
I like to
future or
do something like that because I'm happy you talked. I'm happy you said that, cousin. With A Time to Forgive, I'm doing 1 through 3, right?
uh-huh.
So the next one is going to be a full novel. It's called the first no the last shall be first,
Ooh,
and
All right now. Woo-hoo, yes,
this
ma'am.
is where Summer. She's an older woman. She's going to die an old woman, and her granddaughter is going to finish the story.
Mm. All right
Okay,
now.
and then
I
I'm
see.
glad you said that because I'm looking into history
Right.
about Creeside, the beginning,
All
because
right now. Like a prequel.
because
Okay.
um because Summer grandmother Nanny, woo, that was a horrible black woman. So we're gonna figure out. You guys gonna see how and why she became so evil. And I put bits and parts of it already.
Uh-huh.
Talk about her Nanny's grandmother and her mother, how they were slaves, and
Wow.
how her grandmother was an African priestess. And
Ooh, okay.
then I did talk about in part 2, just to let people know, I talked about hoodoo. And a
Mm.
lot of people, yeah,
Hoodoo? What's hoodoo?
hoodoo. Hoodoo is an African spirituality that a lot of us practice and we don't know.
It's not voodoo. It's
No, not
It's
voodoo.
it's hoodoo.
It's hoodoo.
hoodoo. Hoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Hoodoo.
Hoodoo.
A lot of black women are leaving Christianity and they're going into hoodoo. They're going back to where our ancestors actually practiced hoodoo in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And so here is Summer. She's going to Harlem. She has to leave Georgia and she's on her way to Harlem and she meets a black woman that introduced hoodoo. And people don't know that hoodoo has been practiced in black Christian churches. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't want me to say
Yeah.
this, but it is true.
It
It
has been. It
started
has.
within the Pentecostal church.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta look at this because I always like this. I do my research. I would love to find out what voodoo is because it sounds something like
Quite a
voodoo.
few of my friends, they left Christianity and a lot of them are into hoodoo. And I did not know it. And I was like, wow, because I heard about it because my great grandmother, she somewhat practiced it,
Right.
like superstitious, like our grandmother did. She practiced, it wasn't hoodoo, but she was like, my mom said every New Year's, a man had to walk through the house. They had to sit on the couch. They had to be dressed real
The
fine. And my
a
grandmother
lot of the
used to,
black superstitions
yeah,
come from hoodoo.
from hoodoo. Yeah, yeah, like
Voodoo.
Hoodoo.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like
So
don't put my purse on the floor. That's
Yeah.
hoodoo.
Yeah.
oh, don't
Yeah.
open up the umbrella in the house,
Yeah,
or when
Uh,
you throw sugar on the floor. My dad used to hate that. And, or you throw sugar behind or salt behind
salt
your back.
behind you.
yeah,
All this weird stuff. So
yeah. All this stuff. And my great grandmother, she used to put salt like in front of her door, and I didn't understand. I was like, why is she always putting salt in front of the door? So here in summer, she's going. It's already started in her family, but she doesn't know it until she meets Wilhelmina in Harlem.
Man, we got a Wilhelmina. We got
Wilhelmina.
some names up here.
I remember a Will call out his last
Wilhelmina.
name, but a Wilhelmina.
I love it, boy.
Girl,
Guess what, y'all? We
you
got
really you dug up some names from that era for real, for real.
yes, yes, Wilhelmina. All right, y'all. We done made our whole. How did you enjoy this, Libby? Was it good for
I
you?
love it. I love the fact that I could be on here with my cousin,
I'm your
Yes,
cousin.
man.
one of my big cousins. I can say,
I'm your
and
cousin.
I'm so happy that Marvine. I'm so happy to have met you. I think you're a beautiful spirit. I love your spirit. You're
Thank
beautiful.
you. I'm in love with my spirit. I love your spirit.
She a
No, I
mess.
love. They love my spirit, girl. Hey, y'all! Thank y'all for watching. We got some serious things going on in the near future. Look for our store. Also, I told you about the directory. We're going to move what's in a bag forward into
Mhm.
other adventures like going out. If you find that there's a restaurant or place you want us to review, send us something. Let us know. If you had a bad
Yeah.
experience, also please let us know. We'll even have you on what's in the bag if you want to talk about it. So also, we have our Facebook page. I would like for you to join. Tell everybody about what's in the bag. On Facebook. Also, if you ain't a Facebook person, you might say, which I get a lot. I don't have Facebook. That's for old people. Old people generation is on Facebook.
I'm not on Facebook as much, but I do see your posts.
Okay, so as long as you see the post. We also have YouTube. Yeah, we want you to, like we said, you might not want to scroll through all of our stuff on Facebook, but we have everything you need on What's in the Bag 21.
That's right.
Uh, Come on in, subscribe, look at it. There might be some content there that you may not have seen. Go back and look at them.
Mhm.
It's a lot of good information, awareness. Just we just have fun here, and we want y'all to enjoy what you see, and also be a part of. Being a part
Mhm.
is subscribing, allowing us to know that you're out there, and we can give you more content. Because if we don't know if you like us, how are we gonna keep on bringing it out? I'm still gonna
Right.
give it to you. I don't care if you don't like me or not. Don't like me and don't watch me. Watch me and like me. Watch me and don't care.
Because I didn't even know she met mama already. I said, "Oh my
Oh
goodness."
yeah. Oh yeah. We have been the best of friends for almost 20 years now. So
Yes. My
yeah, she's
baby was my yes. And
yeah.
who like TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. I gotta learn how to work it. Look
TikTok.
at it.
That's
Look
girl.
at you
Yes.
loving
That's the TikTok queen right there. You need to check her out.
God, check me out on TikTok. I still got some stuff on there to try. I put a few things on Reels, but it's okay. I kind of slim back on Reels. I think some things need to be put where it stays where they belong. And TikTok, I can be myself. I can do other things besides watching. Them church folks gonna get on TikTok now. They're gonna say, "Let me find out what Miss Marvina doing up there." I don't care. Come on,
Oh look,
come
all you
on.
doing is spreading some laughter and joy. Tell them to
Yes,
come on in.
come on
right.
in the room, because we
Come
love. You
on
want just
in
come
the
on in
room.
and just acknowledge that Marvina is funny. Show some love. Stop putting all these emojis. Say something. I should be TikTok famous. All y'all people that know me, I should be 50. I should be TikTok famous.
Yeah, you
Why
so
y'all don't be
silly.
saying nothing? Y'all don't say nothing. Y'all just look at me. She
You
goes,
so silly.
yeah. Yes, ma'am. So we had a wonderful segment.
It was nice. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You're
Yes,
welcome. We're
ma'am. I
definitely going to
enjoyed
have you back. Definitely going to have you
it.
back. And before
Yes.
we sign off, I do want to say this. You guys all know that Marvina and I have a love of coffee, and as she said, we are growing and moving. So you will
Yes.
start to see us at some of the local coffee shops here in the metropolitan Atlanta area, and we will go live. We're gonna live stream from there. We'll be
Yeah.
sitting there sipping our
You
coffee
might
and
be just
doing
yes.
exactly what we're doing now.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
So
good.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also while we
yeah,
out, you might just see us just come on. We
That's
really, one
right.
thing about what's in the bag is the bag is so big. We don't have no set anything. You don't have to be set. It's just whatever is here,
That's
whatever is
right.
done. So you might just see us come in. We're enjoying ourselves. So just look for us, and I love that. Yup,
Yeah.
we going to the local
Yeah.
coffee shop. I want me a
That's
donut.
right. That's
That's right.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And if you
I
guys
love
watching, if you
y'all.
guys want to be a part of, you want to get out what's in your bag, you can take in you can go you can DM me or Marvina, and we'll get you information, and we'll go
Yeah,
ahead and get it together, and
yeah.
let you tell us what's in your bag.
Yes, ma'am. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We gonna go out today a little differently. Normally I just put the music on, but we gonna go out with me. I love me. I
Oh
love
Lord
me. I
Jesus.
love me. Right, y'all.